content with this like 7 days of this like reality TV show, they have included like 3 days for free of Side Plus.
Oh, okay.
Side Plus will have all this extra content, and then they're hoping that you'll just forget and carry on subscribing because it will run out like tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah.
So I thought that's such a clever thing. And then they'll have like a live show on Friday, or so, I'm not sure if it was live or maybe it was just like on their primary channel.
Yeah.
So I'm like, these YouTube like influencers, community driven things, creating their own TV shows makes me like, it's obviously essentially Mr. Beast on steroids, you know, with his style. And obviously Sidemen have had, you know, their own versions of stuff, you know, their own like Tinder swipe left, swipe right is what they were mostly known for, or at least that's my opinion of it. So they're coming up with their own show.
Yeah.
You know, the chicken shop lady,
Oh, yeah.
she's had her own show and that's been really successful. So it's cool to show they're putting together their own stuff. And lo and behold, when people upgrade their meals, what do they upgrade it to? The side burgers, right? Side burgers. Yeah, their own food. So it's like a clever blend. And what are they wearing while they're in the house? Well, they've all been given Sidemen merch to wear. So I'm like, again, it's drilling home these like multiple angles. Yeah. Sidemen prison of Sidemen content, food and all sorts. But I think it's great. It's very clever. You just have to build up that like volume, right? And the way they've built the volume is collaboration. Like what, there's 7 or 6 members of them all together. Again, the documentary on Netflix, I think, or maybe it's on Prime, is very insightful too. So I thought it was really clever. It's just a very good, excellent execution of shifting people away from YouTube.
And that's the thing is
to their own stuff, their own platform.
I literally have only come across it today, and it's because of people on YouTube or TikTok having reactions to what they or their friends have done within it. So it's interesting how it's that knock-on effect that you want to know their insight, but then you might want to go to the proper thing, and then you might want to get someone else's insight, and it's just like you've got content for days. I love it how someone started to cut the grass as well. Hopefully, we'll get rid of this in post.
Yeah, like eliminate all this stuff.
grass.
Yeah, it's a bad day to rain, but it wasn't rain; it was people frying stuff. So they were having a barbecue and cutting the grass. So I think as well, it's kind of like blended into like anybody trying to create their own platform. So that's been done for a while now, but they've been more conscious. So I'm like, why are they doing it more consciously than ever? What does that mean in the grand scheme of things? It doesn't mean that YouTube's going to disappear as such, but similar with the like if you wanted to be a streamer or YouTube content, it's quite difficult to come up with monologues. So the next best thing is having a conversation about just stuff, which is how we've started, right? We've just been essentially just spitballing or whatever they say. The third thing is commentary. If you wanted to do it solo, commentary on stuff. So you literally watch the Sidemen videos, literally just record your reviews. There's people that watch drumming videos and give responses. You know, I'm sure there's probably similar in like sport related stuff. In football stuff, you know, you have people watching the game live, but they're commentating on stuff. So yeah, becoming a commentator to things is like an easy pull because again, you want to align it to something you're interested in as well. To be honest,
fascinating. So no beta.
So yeah, that was my no beta squad. Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was beta, but
teasing the audience that were interested in beta, a beta topic that we left to last.
Exactly. Hopefully we'll now have both of the audiences turn up. So, and by now our food, the door stops. Yeah. And on that note, any closing questions or thoughts on the 3 topics?
No, it's a very interesting. To some extent, all 3 topics are companies or individuals doing something that they didn't originally do. Creating a show, building a farm, becoming a game company. So actually, there's I don't even know if you were trying to do this. There was a thread throughout it all.
Absolutely not, but yes, I like the fact that you've spotted it. The connecting of ideas. So I would say, like, linked to that is essentially like, why have they done this stuff? It's essentially innovation, right? And innovation is so you don't die out.
Yeah.
So if you're running a business or you're starting a side hustle, like innovation will always be focusing on the competition. So as long as you focus on innovation over the competition, you'll always be like good, essentially.
So what's the?
So what question can we drive from that?
Have we had any response from the bus butts anymore?
No, I don't think so, but I haven't actually checked, but I assume we haven't. And also, I've just published, because I've been off for the week, I've just only published the last episode reasonably like this week. I need to put that on Facebook so then people can watch that one. But I think this one is a very good episode, so maybe we'll upload this one to Facebook as well. So.
Or we could have a stock, so that means we actually can take a week off for a change.
Yeah, we've just had post one, and then next
we'll be a week ahead.
So we'll be a week ahead of ourselves.
That might be quite nice.
Yeah, it makes a massive difference.
So if we forget to record, that we can launch something. So the question this week, is how would you be innovative in your life? So you might be going in one direction. How would you turn the corner and go a different direction? From doing stuff with cars to then farms. What is your opposite end? I don't know.
Yeah. Opposite end innovation.
If you flip the coin,
ideas.
You're only working on one side of it. So what's the opposite? What's the heads to your tails, or what's the tails to your head?
What's the head to your tails? What a great phrasing. Yes, I agree. So this week's question is, what's your head to your tails? What's the head to your tails? Yeah, not what's your head to your tails. And on that note, keep hammering those nails. We'll see you next week. Bye for now. I can't remember if you talked about the frying pans while we were recording or not. Yo. Thanks so much for joining again for another tester stream. I fixed the video. So while I'm muted in meetings, because I can't share some of the audio and stuff, I fixed it so it actually loops now, which is good, which is great. I then realized that actually it'd be cool to have like a counter. So this is all inspired by Gary Vee. If you look at Gary Vee's Twitch channel, you'll see that he live streams his own office, but you don't know when they've unmuted and muted through the day. So they recently added a unmute counter. So then you know if you've joined at a certain point, you know, oh, he unmuted 5 times or 1 time or something. Like one stream, I think the last stream I watched, he'd only unmuted like once. The counts at 2 because it was like an accident, but I don't know how they're having dynamic counting, but that's kind of cool to do that. So yeah, some improvement that I'd like to put in, and I'd like to add music in, but I'm not sure what platform to use, because obviously I can run Spotify, but maybe that's a bit too much because obviously copyright and stuff. I don't want any copyright strikes in these early days, anyway, at least. But yesterday I played a little bit of Kemma's music, which is cool. So that's always a good thing to do. So if you don't know Kemma's my wife. She's also a music artist. If you go over to Spotify and type in K-I-M-A, Kim with an A, and O-T-U-N-G, you'll be able to find some of her music on there. And if I play it here, essentially I have to pay her streaming royalties, but I hope Twitch pays those royalties on my behalf somehow. So yeah. Cool. Thanks for being with me. And if there's anything that you want to ask or that you're interested in while I am doing some work in the background, then feel free to chime in. So I'm on YouTube and Twitch right now. I do want to start streaming to TikTok to see if I can get some vertical videos. So I've been playing around with OBS a little bit more. Obviously putting these nice borders and graphics and stuff in. But then the second step is like, cool, I want to stream a vertical video. I follow some guys on YouTube called Live. I think are they called Live Traders? Trading. What are they called? Yeah, tradertv.live. And they have 2 streams. They have like a vertical stream and a typical horizontal 16:9 type of stream. So I wonder if I can figure out how to do that at some point. I've got a YouTube video to show me how to do some of that. But it's just a case of watching through it and figuring out how to add it. I think it's a plugin, I think, of some sorts. Oh yeah, vertical plugin. Here you go. So Atium. Atium vertical plugin for OBS. Call it one for Mac. Sweet. I'm glad that auto downloaded because it was just like showing me Windows and Linux, but oh, it's because it automatically started. Cool. I wonder if I can do all this while I'm still streaming, or will I have to actually cancel out, but we'll see. One thing I noticed yesterday as well, so for the back of the Sidemen inside, I follow Angry Ginge, and I noticed that he's got like a second channel, which is like his AFK is away from keyboard one. It's just, I assume, a bunch of reruns or something of his content, which is incredibly clever. It's the whole like YouTubers making second channels. If you've got an audience on one channel, the likelihood is that they want to still see more content, so you subscribe to a second. Like I've subscribed to 2 channels of the same person because you'll see like secondary or like more intricate content on the second channel. So I'm like, I didn't realize that actually Twitch streamers were doing the same, or streamers in general are doing the same, where they have this away from keyboard AFK version of them, which is that they're not there, but you can just play through stuff. And I wonder why that's better than just a straight recording of a past stream. But again, if you're live, you're probably more like in people's faces. It's kind of like having to build a sandcastle every day, right? Marketing is essentially like building a sandcastle. The sea comes in and washes it out every day, so you have to start every day building it back up. So if you're live when you're not live, it's a very, very clever strategy. I think it's great. But let's just start with one channel for now and get that going. And apologies for any bangs you hear. I've got workers upstairs and outside putting walls and tiles and all the rest of it up and on. So I've downloaded it. Apologies if this stops my stream. I'll come back on if it does. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to restart it now. It's a good sign. Got the green light. All right, I'm just going to go to in meeting while I do lots of banging.
Done in a much shorter time because we've just been literally speaking with the recording being off, which is, I think this is the only time that that's happened though, isn't it?
Well, we've trialed the auto record bit today, which didn't actually work.
Come on. Yeah.
So I wonder if maybe you have to log into it first because it's your like account and I'm classed as a guest, maybe. But that's something that we have to look into.
Yeah, maybe indeed. But yeah, that's it. So, do you want to add to any of the pre-ramble? Shall I get us started?
No, we could kick in. Might as well.
Cool. All right. So,
here's a preamble question, actually.
Okay.
I might as well have a chat.
Yeah.
I can see the yawn. Right, go into presenter mode.
I was just like, what do I do? Do you do the whole like smile, like pause, and then start? And then
because if we have the doorstop intro video thing, could we just slot it in here? Can you throw it in now and then we start? Because then it makes it easier for editing.
Fortunate, because it's like I would have to screen share. It would be a third camera, but I don't know. I don't think so. And also maybe the paid version would have this ability to like run like intro stuff because the.
All right, I have installed it. It doesn't give me the new vertical dock, probably because I have to restart OBS, which I don't want to do right now. But I will do that at some point. And then I can do vertical video because it'd be great if I could stream to TikTok and just try and see what that's like. be kind of cool, and also to Instagram potentially. But I'm not sure if there's a limit on Instagram streaming, like live streams. There's not a 90-minute limit. Is there a limit? Limit on live stream. Oh, 4 hours at a time on Instagram. What's TikTok? TikTok live videos of a limit of 60 minutes. What's the live stream limit on? I assume that there is no limit on YouTube. No duration. Yeah, no limit on YouTube that only lasts 12 hours will be recorded. Maximum broadcast length on Twitch is 48 hours. What about Twitter/X? There's no limit to how long you can stream on X. Sweet. Actually, what I'd like to do is see if I can input the stream on X, because I've not done that yet, and I've just installed the multiple outputs plugin. Alright, let's see if I can go live. It's not really clear. They'll go into the media studio. Oh yeah, this was it. So sources. Okay, I create OBS. Right, add a new target in here. Call it X, Twitter. URL. Recommended encoding settings. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Cool, I'm going to start on here, see if this works. It says it's working. It says it's doing it. Who knows if it's actually going? Let's see.
says it's happening, but it's not happening. Cool. Okay. Do I create a broadcast? And let's put this in. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So, seems like I had to add in, so start it from OBS and then add it in as a source properly, as a broadcast, sorry. So, now it actually works. I can see it going through, but let's see if I have enable this as public chat. So that works. So if I close this, I'm live. And if I come over to here, oh yeah, live on X. Cool. So, welcome X, people on X. This is cool. Apologies for this banging. I've got workers upstairs. It'd be great if I could have this chat. Yes, okay, cool. So now that I'm on X, I think I can add this as a new doc. So if I go custom browser docs in OBS, I add a X/Twitter and add in the URL of the chat. So I don't have any combined like chat functionality like across multiple platforms. Does that work? No, it doesn't. But that's fine. That was a nicety to have it in like as an additional part anyway. I can have it just open in a window. Oh wait, yes, it does work. I just need to sign in. Okay, cool. Oh, now we're talking, right. So that does work. So I now have a third chat in here. So I've got Twitch, X, and YouTube live chat, all individual widgets, but at least now 3 URLs are in. which is good. Cool. One thing I find is super difficult is I can't paste anything into these widgets. So I have to write it all from scratch. So I'm just getting some copy from this to put some pinned comments in, just to try this out as well. Copy this link. Can I pin comments here? Okay, it doesn't look like I can pin comments. And that actually didn't work. Okay, cool. Okay, so I can't pin that comment. Cool. One thing I found interesting was seeing what kind of like numbers I get on different platforms, especially for just posting generally, let alone streaming. So, because obviously there's slightly different audiences in each. So, Oh yeah, this is good. Sweet. Yeah, I just need this vertical video to work. But I wonder if I could stream as is to TikTok. So let's see if I can add this one in. Because I was able to add X in, wasn't I? So. Well, let me just switch over to video for you guys.
Because ideally, you sort of want to know the neighbour, and then the neighbour to say, "Oh, I'm getting my gutter in this week." They're offering both of us 10% off if I find someone to get theirs done, and I've done my research and done it. So then you're turning the neighbour into the salesperson and building the relationship from that way. And I guess like a classic like referral link style of they get something for recommendation.
I wonder whether or not you could. You're right. Neighbors don't speak. Could you play on that? Again, I'm just going to give this deception concept out. Not that I potentially would do it, but let's say you were like, hey, your neighbor John got his gutters done and suggested that you might also like them. And you basically put a generic name in there. So like, could you get away with putting a generic name in there? Like, or you could be like, John up the road said you might be interested. So because of his referral, you get 10% because John suggested you or whatever. You could like rope it in to it. But if you knew the street, you'd be like, there is no John on the street. And then you'd be like, these guys are liars. And then you wouldn't book them. But I find that I'm like, maybe that would be a bit like off-putting. But generally it's kind of like, could you rope in something like, and that's why the whole like, oh, your neighbor up the road had theirs done. And then that already builds the trust of like, you were good enough to do theirs. Then it's like, and maybe it is a case of they were happy and they were like, they wanted us to kind of like get in touch with you guys. Do you know what I mean? It's the whole like social proofing.
If you left the name and the number of the house, and then maybe the name that says like, and John's happy for you to go and see the work. Okay, you can't do it to an area that you've not done. But there's that element of it's giving you, I guess, free will, not free will. But...
Okay, the bang stopped. I can't go live. I don't have 1,000 followers, so I don't think. Even though I've got a business account, can I not go live? Yeah, maybe not. It's a shame, because I wanted to see if that worked. Let's see. Okay, I'm just watching a video on how to download this stuff. Was he able to restart OBS before? Because if not, it might be an actual page that I can do. Yeah, so he restarted OBS. Cool. At least if I restarted, I could do the vertical video stuff. And if not, where's he setting up TikTok? So he has more followers. So let me ask.
Yeah, I need to have at least 1,000 on TikTok. What about... You know, while I'm here, I might as well do Facebook, so at least I can get on par with what I was doing before through Riverside. So if I go and add in Facebook while I'm here to see. What I find with all these apps, you press go live, and then it's asking you for information, but you think pressing go live is like actually going to turn your camera on and start broadcasting it. So streaming software, yep. Okay, add new target. Let's put in Facebook. URL. I'm just going to do all of the same settings and then just sync. So let me start that. So that started connecting. Did that fail? No. Oh, did I just go live on my page and that was the wrong URL? Let me stop this. Modify. Yeah, I think I went on the wrong one. Oh, wait, hang on. So I can't go live on Facebook as my page. Oh, I was live. I was live the other day. How was that? Oh, was I live on my personal one? Okay. Yeah, I was live on my personal one. Okay, so I also need to bump up my followers on my page. Should this go as a live stream here? No, it didn't. That's so bizarre. It went on my page. Very strange. So I bypassed it somehow. Oh, wait, there we go. Post as a page. Can I do it like this? Okay. Yes, I can't switch it. Okay.
I have no idea why this all of a sudden has changed. Okay. Don't know why that's different. I'll start it again. So this is going to go to my personal account, but oh well. Okay, Facebook stopped doing it. Stopped working. Because I can't connect my video source. I don't know why that's the case, but it was working yesterday, so that worked fine. But, yeah. All right, I'll be back in a minute.
It can also be amicable, so you don't come across as like difficult or whatever like thing you're trying to avoid. But it's funny, you come to realize that people, a lot of the time, most of the time, come from their own perspectives and their own prerogatives, right? Their own goals. So of course they're going to do this thing because they want this particular outcome. And if you can just see what's driving them, you can see like clarity, and you can kind of like dodge between the bullets kind of thing, to be like, I'm not going to play this game, and you want to disrupt it, and kind of like change it a little bit. So then they're not kind of like just doing it because they want it and not really thinking about you, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because there's no harm in people asking. I'm not against people asking, you know? It's more so that like, if you don't want to do it, make sure you say you don't want to do it. Because there's nothing worse than saying yes because you felt obliged to, or you felt pressure. And then you have that like guilt, like kind of like annoying feeling for ages kind of thing. Then you do it. But sometimes people need those moments in consecutive and kind of like with greater intensity to like finally have that like self-worth or like sense of self to say no the next time, because you just remind yourself of that uncomfortable position or that uncomfortable feeling, to then be encouraged to say no, like by default. So always say no, like only say, I think there's a saying that like you should predominantly say no unless it's like a massive yes, like a hell yes vibe, like a real big yes, which is, I think, is a fair thing. Because again, you want to be mindful of your own energy and your own kind of like commitment levels and stuff, isn't it? So it's really interesting.
Talking about being mindful for energy, what have you got fun for your week off? Anything interesting as we close?
So you're familiar with the Amazon, Jeremy Clarkson, The Farm, like Deadly Squat thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going up. So it's around like Oxfordshire type, like Cotswold type area. Or like Chipping Norton even, which is probably a bit more north. So we're going to stay outside of Oxfordshire somewhere, then drive over to the farm. And they say that the farm usually gets so busy, the car park gets so busy that they have to close early. So hopefully we can go like crack of dawn kind of thing to go and see it. But then I've realised, is it half term right now?
Currently this week it's half term, yeah. So
Right. So like there'll be even more people around because it's half term. So
I think sometimes in different regions the weeks can slightly change, because I know there's a place in Liverpool that they've got 2 weeks off currently, because they, I think, pulled a week off from their summer holidays. So maybe some people might have the second week off or whatever, but who knows?
Yeah, that makes sense.
If there's loads of kids there, then yeah, there's a week off there as well.
Yeah, so we'll be spending a couple of days out, just like chilling, you know, massages, food, you know, hotel swimming pool, that kind of vibe, which is really good. So, funnily enough, I chatted to my church leader. He's moving to Watford soon, which is a shame. And I was saying like, oh, it's my birthday soon. And he's like, oh, cool. And I was like, yeah, typically I do something small because I prefer the small thing. And he's like, oh yeah, I do too. But for my 40th, because he's over 40 now, for my 40th, he regrets not doing like a big deal. So I'm like, oh, interesting. That's good to know. It's like good to know when people tell you their regrets, because then you can kind of like factor in whether or not you want to do something similar too. So yeah, maybe for 35 or 40, you know, when I'm a millionaire at 35, you go big. Yeah, and that's it. Those are my closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts. Birthday. Any questions for the community that have hopefully liked and subscribed?
I was trying to think if there's any. So one, we still want you to go back and watch the bus episode, which is literally just the last episode, which is basically don't be afraid to be seen trying. And then the question.
All right, I still can't seem to get this stuff working like it did yesterday, which is a little bit bizarre, but it is what it is. What if I stop this again and start it? Oh, there we go. Just needed a stop and start, did it? Or was it just doing it for like a second? No, it's working. Okay. Maybe my settings are wrong. Oh, it's cool that they've actually got live captions on here. I think YouTube need to sort that out as well. They don't have live captions. So I'm going to post on my timeline and not share it as a story. So don't share story. Why did that allow me to do it from a page before then, but not now? Okay, let's just see. Something's happening. Okay, so it's just going to my actual page. So my personal page. I don't actually want. I want it to go to my other page, but I don't think there's a way to do it. Well, at least it works on that side. So I'm doing a multi-stream to 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know what's changed for me not to be able to do it over on my page, but it is what it is. Maybe it has a better integration through the other platform. Let's see. Frame rate is a bit sluggish. Sound is good, but the video is awful. Using the same settings as everything else. But alright, I'm going to pause Facebook for the time being. I'll come back to it because I don't really want it on this page anyway. So I'm going to stop, which hopefully means this will stop on this end. Stopping. Stop. Okay. Delete video and return to quick actions. Broadcast quality wasn't good. Yeah, the broadcast delay or lagging. Video quality. Yeah, that'll be me. I'm going to delete. Actually, I'll keep it. Keep it or just hide it. So I can watch it back later. Well, at least that was interesting to try out. I'm going to hang fire on the other ones for now.
Memorize how to pull this, like remember how I'm going to pull it apart. So if I want to put it back together, that I can put it back together correctly. That's the goal. So
The bed is that, or the drum
yeah.
kit? The bed.
Mostly the bed.
You need to get a Murphy bed that can just push up against a wall, and then you've got your acoustic sorted.
Or have a bed that's in the ceiling. Have you seen those ones that like come down from the ceiling?
Yeah, those look cool.
Like
as
the
well.
Japanese style thing. So I'm like, oh, it's even better because a lot of the time you have these high ceilings, you're not actually utilizing the space. So if you had like 6 inch, well, not 6 inches, like probably like more than 6 inches worth of like thickness, maybe like 10, 12 inches of something, then it'd be like, boop, and it comes down on like ropes or like wires. You just hope that it doesn't get activated in the night and you're just like moving up into the thing. It's like a death trap.
You're just
That's one way to
dreaming
stay
that you're
awake.
getting crushed in like the Star Wars walls, and then you wake up and you realise you're against the ceiling.
Yeah, it's your own bed trying to kill you. Yeah, you know when people recreate like budget, when people like film and recreate films, but like with super low budget, like a couple of friends, you could be like, you build the bed and you recreate the Star Wars thing, like with the bed, but you just have the camera guy on an angle, so it looks like the walls are collapsing in. That'd be so funny. And then you just have like a Jabba the Hutt, which essentially is a dog, being like, oh.
Yeah, I'm sure someone's either not tried that or can give that a go. They can steal this idea and run with it.
Yeah, we're all about not only business ideas but movie ideas. Talking about movie ideas, I saw your tweet towards the Wrexham guys about the to McElhenney about a new episode.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was so funny.
Have you seen the video?
Yeah. So background for you guys, just because obviously, otherwise it will make no sense. If you go over to Twitter and X and search Ryland Studio, you'll see that Tom has replied to Rob McElhenney on a tweet about a video. I think it's in LA somewhere, where there's literally a guy on a bus and he's hooked a what do you even call it? Yeah, a hammock in the bus, and he's in the hammock, and then someone's like, "Hey, you better get off the bus," and he's like, "No, I won't," and then he wraps himself in the hammock and he's like spinning around. I think it's so funny. So they were like, Rob was like, "If you can name this episode, I will make an episode of Only Sunny in Philadelphia." Not Only
someone
Sunny.
said it.
Yeah, Only Sunny. Yeah.
They can
Only
imagine
Sunny?
Charlie doing it. It's
Absolutely.
always sunny. Yeah.
It's always sunny in Philadelphia. Yeah, it's always sunny. So I think that would be a really funny episode. If they can do the whole, like, it's kind of like social commentary, right? You saw this in a thing and then they make a film about it, but they give it this great backstory. Because what I found, the episode that they did about when they were doing the like insurrection stuff in the US and like the ballots being like kind of like faked and stuff, and how they managed to get the gang involved in all of those different things, which are like real stories. I thought that was so funny. So, but yeah, I don't know what that episode was called, but yeah.
Side
probably.
comment: how's your video? It seems a bit glitchy on my side. Yours?
It probably is glitchy. Yeah, I hope that it'll iron itself out in the real thing, because it's glitchy for me too. But I don't know what to do. I literally have no idea what I should be doing.
I feel like you'll be C3PO. Like,
I really hope not. Shutting down. I really hope not. Maybe what I'll do just right now before we actually fully start is just turn the camera on and off.
Yeah, I've just closed loads of stuff in the background just to make sure that mine isn't randomly slowing it down.
That is
I know
true.
your laptop's a
hope
little
that-
bit more powerful than mine, but sometimes it can be the
I hope that nothing is
pains.
happening, but
Yeah. I really hope that this is fine in real life. Otherwise, it's going to be incredibly irritating. I'll just have like me and you side by side, so at least then you're moving in real time, and then I'm not moving in real time, which will be hopefully less noticeable. So
Got to look interested the whole time now. Okay.
yeah, maybe I just got to freeze in like really positive ways, and then it'll be fine, right? So should we get going? You can
Let's
roll
get
us in on
going.
this one.
Don't stop. Boom. Welcome back to Don't Be a Doorstop. I just remembered of something. Let me cut back to this, and then I'll
Scratch it.
start it again.
Cut that.
Is
I'm gonna keep this in.
I spotted the Bible Project people going
Yeah.
energy just before a video to basically get their energy going. So I thought of that straight away, and that threw me off my thing.
Okay, energy.
Right.
Energy.
Don't be a doorstop. Don't be a doorstop. Don't be a doorstop.
And welcome back to Don't Be a Doorstop. So today we'll be speaking about insert here because I don't even know what the topic is. We've been talking about production and sorting out our room as we've been getting ready. As you've noticed, the podcast has slightly changed its formation or format, I should say. So at the start, we are just doing our preamble chat just because we thought it'd be something a bit different, something a bit interesting. Yeah, and it's easy enough to skip if you're not that bothered. So yeah, what are we talking about today, Dan? What's on the dome?
I love that when you're like, I don't know what I'm going to bring to the table. So, like, do you have anything to bring to the table? I'm like, as soon as we say, let's start now, my brain goes blank. So I literally have nothing specific that I was going to mention as such. But
So the latest gig.
yeah, the latest gig was in Devon, and it wasn't with me this time. It was just Kimmer solo. So I was more so the muscle, the making sure everything's okay, making sure our in-ears are all good and stuff. But that went really well. And actually, some guy in his like,
Right. I think I'll pause for here now, and then hopefully I'll be able to try the vertical video stuff so I can get onto Instagram at least, because I need to have some more followers on TikTok before that happens, which is is a shame, but I can work up to that. All right, there we go. Bye for now. Let's stop here.